IVM.
Welcome to TFG Fantasy Sports Podcast. This is Vivek Krishnan and CP Thomas from the Fan Garage. Hi guys, so today we'll be talking about the finals, the Tri-Series finals. As expected, the West Indies have made the finals. And Bangladesh, the surprising thing is Bangladesh are still unbeaten. I never thought this would happen. But I think the quality of cricket, overall quality of cricket by all three teams has been pretty poor. Because, number one, the weather has not been kind for the first 2-3 days. And then suddenly when the sun shone, you saw flat wickets. So I'm actually bothered about the wickets. We saw that in Cardiff, we saw that in Southampton, we saw that at the Oval.
Yeah, but I think the way it's going, it's like going to continue into the World Cup. There's going to be high-scoring matches and it's going to be good chases.
So down to team composition, point number 11. Both teams will play their best 11.
Yeah, finally.
Finally,
I know.
We said there is going to be a lot of rotation from West Indies, Bangladesh, and we saw that in the inconsequential game against Ireland. Bangladesh rested how many? 4 or 5 leading players. So I expect all of them to come back. Having said that, the big news here is Shakib Al Hasan is not available for this match. He was batting against Ireland. That is when he injured his arm, his shoulder. Immediate attention by the physio and the Bangladesh Cricket Board. They are going to be very careful with him because chances are that he might go back home. He might not even play the warm-up matches in the lead-up to the World Cup.
I think even during the IPL, they were very careful with him.
Yes. So we don't. So obviously he's not going to be playing this game. It's a big blow for Bangladesh. Who could come in? Somebody like a Mosaddeq Hossain could come in because, as they say, like for like replacement. Yeah. Mosaddeq, we said, will bowl 9 overs against Ireland. Picked up a wicket, I think. So that is going to be one change. Other changes: Mustafizur Rahman was benched because he's their prime bowler along with Moshraf Mortaza. So I think Mustafizur will also get a look.
Yeah.
West Indies haven't done too many changes. I think it is still not their best 11 because three people, the three giants have not joined.
Yeah. You see, you have to pick the best from what is available right now.
Yes, So Gale, Russell, Lewis and one more guy, they are not available. Pollard, Narine, Bravo have some other issues. So this is by far not the best team. Yeah. Anyway, point number 10. Weather has been harsh for the first week, suddenly friendly. Over the weekend, it's going to be a little up and down. Chances are we might see a curtail game.
Yeah. So you need to be very careful about picking the players because you could get into a 24-hour game.
Yeah, and I think if it comes down to weather deciding the course of the match, I think West Indies have a great chance because they have some big hitters. Yes, Gale, Russell, Pollard are not available, but everybody in that camp can hit a long ball.
Yeah.
And the ground is not big either. So that's why we have been seeing 300, 350s being chased down comfortably. We saw Ireland taking the attack to Bangladesh. Porterfield scoring 94 in, I think, 94 years now. So yes, Sterling, like we said, got 100. So easy run chase is what we expect. But yeah, so what could happen is if the ball, if it starts to rain, if it's cloudy, we could see the seamers coming into play.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Point number 9, spinners.
Actually, the problem here is when you don't have Shakib. Shakib is a bowler, Shakib is a batsman, Shakib is a captain, Shakib is everywhere. So suddenly 50% of our chat and talk is gone now.
No, but makes it more interesting now that otherwise he was a definite pick for any team. So now you really need to rack your brains and get into somebody like a Mosaddeq
Hossain, Mehdi Hasan. Mehdi Hasan was benched too, but I see him bowling again 10. He's a very cheeky cricketer. He can get you runs with the ball. And if you just look at his economy rate, both home, overseas, they're very, very impressive. One of those bowlers, people don't attack him for I don't know what reason, but he's there, so pick him. From the West Indian camp, I think...
Allen.
Yeah, Fabian Allen.
Even a Chase can bowl.
Yeah, Roston Chase can bowl, but Ashley Nurse has been their number one spinner ever since Sunil Narine left the team. Bishu is not a part of the team anymore, so Ashley Nurse is going to be their leading spinner, and I think you should pick him because he's done well in this form in this tournament as well.
Yeah.
We're down to Pacers now. Point number 8, Mashrafe Murtaza will lead. I said the same thing. Isko kaise wicket milta hai, main abhi tak nahi pehchan paya. He's their captain. He's going to bowl 10 overs for sure. And Mustafizur. So these two will bowl in tandem. Now, what can happen here is Abu Jaid. Abu Jaid picked up 5 wickets yesterday. So it would be very difficult for Bangladesh to bench someone who has picked up 5 wickets just a day prior to the finals. So if he plays, who could go out? For sure, Rubal Hussain won't get a game, not because he didn't pick many wickets, but I think there is no slot available. You can't play 4 seamers either, and with Shakib's absence, you need to play an extra spinner. So
yeah, but for the fantasy, I think you just stick to your Mashrafe and Mustafizur. You don't have to worry about the remaining 2, even if they pick them up.
Yeah. For the West Indies, Shannon Gabriel has been pacey, bouncy, bowling very well. Sheldon Cottrell is someone who can really get the ball to swing and seam. The biggest disappointment has been Kemar Roach. I don't know why he's in the playing 11 because he's not been picking wickets. He's been considering extras, and someone who's nursing a knee injury. He's also not very comfortable in his run-up. So I don't know why the West Indies have taken a chance by picking him. So, but it's a final game. He's an experienced guy. Who knows what Holder could think of him tomorrow?
Yeah. But
Jason Holder. Yeah, Jason Holder is another frontline pacer that you need to consider.
But he'll come into the all-rounders, which is our point number 7.
Yes. If there is one all-rounder that you can't miss, obviously Shakib is not there. We keep repeating it. Jason Holder is the next best pick. He's very comfortable with the bat. Bats number 6. He's bowling 10 overs and he's a very fine fielder as well. So he's a complete package. He's the captain. Sometimes I have a feeling he underbowls himself. Captains have this bad habit. It all started from Richard Adley, Imran Khan days, and it's continuing even till now.
Yeah.
So yes,
Saifuddin, I would think for
Saifuddin doesn't have too much pace. I don't know. He keeps picking up a wicket here and there. There are some lucky bowlers who will always get you those wickets, like Tisara Pereira. They'll just run up, bowl some nonsense ball, and they'll get a wicket. So Saifuddin falls into that category.
It also depends on what stage of the game they're brought in.
Correct.
When the batsman, it's usually between those middle overs when somebody's trying to increase the run rate and one top edge, and you get a wicket here and there.
Yes, so that completes our all-rounder category. We move on to the keeper. A little tricky, but I'm very convinced that Shai Hope should be the choice here because he opens the batting, he keeps wickets. And if you look at his scores, 100, 187, so 200s and an 80 odd, that makes him a real hot candidate for the keeper slot.
Yeah, plus Rahim bats down. So
Rahim bats. But what could also happen tomorrow is because Shakib is not there, who has been batting up the order, Rahim could get promoted because at the end of the day, you need some experienced guy playing the role of a sheet anchor. So Rahim has played many ODIs for Bangladesh. So I see him doing that role. Coming back to Hope, Hope actually made his mark a few years ago in England when he got 200s in a row, both innings in Headingley, and the history of cricket, nobody has ever done that on that ground. So talks a lot about his temperament, his class, and he's the next big thing in West Indian cricket. So, I mean, look...
it's a, sorry for the phrase, no-brainer. I think it's Hope for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk batsmen. Again, lot. Tamim Iqbal, Shaumya Sharkar, Mohammedullah, Mithun, Shabbir Rahman, Roston Chase, Sunil Ambrose, Darren Bravo, Liton Das. Okay, so Sunil Ambrose is someone whom we can pick because he's got 100 at the start of the tournament. Liton Das, I don't know why they kept Liton Das away from the team. They gave him a chance yesterday and he came out with a 50. So a bit of a headache for Bangladesh as to who should be playing, who should be sitting out. Shabbir Rahman could be the scapegoat here. No fault of his because they placed him at number 6. He's hardly had a chance to bat. So I think he will be sacrificed tomorrow.
Yeah, being a final, they'll probably go with the best that they think can get them the runs.
Yes.
And your picks should be between Tamim.
Yeah,
and
Tamim and Shami Sarkar, because they have
Yeah.
been batting together for a long time. Both southpaws will open the batting. If one plays the role of an aggressive batsman, the other will play sheet anchor's role. Mahmudullah, again, classy as ever, number 4, number 5. So I think, you can comfortably leave out Darren Bravo. I mean, we can do one full podcast on Darren Bravo, and I will rant as to how somebody can underachieve so much.
Yeah.
He's been sent down just to play cricket
I think
like his uncle Brian Lara.
Good time to go to the vice captain.
Okay. See, anyway, where are we now? Vice captain, point number 4. Jason Holder. Oh, interesting. CP, we spoke about, we were talking about Butler, Bairstow and Joe Root. You remember that dilemma we were in?
Yeah.
And again, this is a funny game, funny selection from Owen Morgan. He dropped Josh Butler.
Yeah.
He said, okay, you've got 100, now you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, that was the logic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we said, if that happens, pick Bairstow and Root. Bairstow got 100, Root got a 50. So
77, I think.
Yeah, so there you go. So it's very simple. We stick to Jason Holder here because 10 overs guaranteed, batting number 6. He can play the big shots. Very reliable guy and has really come up the ranks. He's the leader of the team, and there is so much hope, and he delivers. He leads by example. People like him. These days he has become a favorite pick in fantasy leagues. So every reason for you to not ignore him.
Yeah, and I think there's not many who would come near him for a vice captain slot.
Yeah, and if somebody has to lead West Indies in this World Cup, I think we have made a very sensible decision. Captain.
Since there's no Shakib, there's only, I think, hope.
Hope, yeah. Hope is bigger than the Pope, as they say. Yeah. So hope is a I think it's a no-brainer here again, because he's been the leading run scorer this tournament. He has kept wickets well. And when you talk about captain, vice captain, you have to go with form. Don't you agree, CP?
Yeah, right now, leading into the finals, he has been the best performer.
Yeah.
And he, like we said earlier, he will be opening, and so
yes, and he's played some steady cricket. He has not played rash shots. He's waited for the loose balls to come his way. He's ready to give the first 20-30 minutes to the bowlers when there is assistance for them. So there is no reckless batting here. He also understands he's the best batsman in the Windies camp, and somebody out there has told him, boss, you are the one who's going to pile on the runs, and like an obedient student, he's doing that.
Yeah. And that should be the role. Like we discussed a couple of days ago, it's 50 overs and it's a lot of time. It's a lot.
A lot of time, yeah.
If you're an opener, you have 300 balls, it's
correct.
Like huge.
And I think also, like you said, 300 balls, even the fantasy players need to understand and, drill this into their system that 300 ball bahut hote hain, bhai. You don't have to.
ICC has, they have revised their scorecard to include up to 500 runs now for the World Cup. Because you just don't know now what can happen.
Exactly. Yeah. So there is so much time. So when you make your teams, be mindful of this fact.
Absolutely.
Trump card. Again, vice captain and trump card is matching. Jason Holder is our pick. We have talked about Jason for a long time now. I think, look, the reason we feel Jason Holder should be your trump is because many people these days don't pick him as a captain, vice captain. You will pick a Hope, you'll pick a Shakib, you'll pick a Rahim, you'll pick a Mahmudullah. You don't want to. I don't know why people don't make this guy as the captain, vice captain. When somebody can give you points with both bat and ball, boss, you always pick him. So and he's sure to play.
Absolutely. I would also go with Mustafizur.
Mustafizur Rahman. Yes. See, suddenly he started bowling those Yorkers. He picked up 4 wickets in, I think, 3 or 4 balls in the last... 3 or 4 overs in the last match. And he actually cleaned up the West Indian tail, if I'm not wrong. So I think he's a very good pick, and he will play this match.
Yeah.
Prediction. Does it really matter?
It actually doesn't.
Yeah.
But since prediction is prediction and you like to know...
Yes, Bangladesh have been very good. 100% strike rate. So you have to feel maybe they'll go unbeaten, win the tournament. But again, West Indies is a powerhouse. You never know what can happen. Suddenly, it's like the IPL finals. You have been the best team. One poor ball and you can lose everything.
And also,
unless you have an external factor controlling the game from outside.
Yeah, for West Indies it would be a great win because some of their main players are not in.
Correct.
And can you imagine having won this and then going with this
and
momentum?
CP, even if they lose, it's okay. Because you don't expect this West Indian team to...
That they were okay with before the tournament. That's why they rested some of their main players.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter
But if you look at the West Indian team, we're going slightly away from the main subject. But if you look at their team, 15 players, and if you pick 12 players 11 players rather, I'm saying 12th as someone who will do the fielding, it is quite a formidable team. It is quite a formidable team. And we are talking 350, 300, 400 and all. Top 6 West Indian batsmen. Go back, see the numbers, see the lineup. Scary team.
Yeah. Good World Cup coming.
Yes. So that's a wrap on yet another episode of Fantasy Cricket. You know where to find us. You know where to talk about us, feedback, whatever it is. Always welcome. Many thanks for listening to us. We'll be talking about the Scotland Sri Lanka game tomorrow. So till then, take care. Bye.
Bye. See you.
Filter coffee is a fascinating beverage. You need to pick the right beans, blend them in the right proportion, roast them to perfection, and slow brew at the right temperature to get the perfect cup. Which is exactly like great conversations as well. You need to track down the most interesting minds, get them into their zone, and settle down for an unhurried, unscripted chat. And coffee for me is always best enjoyed with friends. I'm Karthik Nagarajan, and do share my table as I meet some of the most interesting people I know and sit them down for a strong cup of coffee and an even stronger conversation. Join me every Wednesday for a freshly brewed episode. This is not frappe. This is the Filter Coffee Podcast.
Hey Meghnad, do you know how to citizen?
Hey Shreyas, do you know how to citizen?
Hey Meghnad, do you know how to citizen?
Hey Shreyas, let's just do a podcast about it.
Let's do a podcast about it. A podcast is called How to Citizen. In every episode, we get a new guest and discuss one chapter from the 8th grade civics textbook. Think about it as 3 friends revising before a test. And we go back to school. There's nostalgia, there's trauma, there are lunch breaks, there are favorite teachers, there are horrible teachers, there's everything.
So every Tuesday we bring in a guest on the podcast and we ask them a very simple question. Do you know how to citizen?
Meghnad, I think the question is, do you know how to citizen?
But Shreyas, I'm asking you this question. Do you know